Today's episode of Variant is brought to you by lynda.com.
Today on Variant, I talk about one of the most loved female characters in all of comic books, Harley Quinn. Welcome to Variant, where we love comics more than Batman misses his parents. I'm your host, Arris. As everyone knows, in 2016, we are getting a Suicide Squad movie, so I'm going to wait to do a History of Suicide Squad episode until it's a little closer to the movie's actual release date. But since I've already done a History of Joker episode, I figure it's only fitting that I talk about Harley Quinn, and it just so happens she's also a member of the Suicide Squad, so that worked out. Let's start with Harley Quinn's first appearance and how the character was created. Harley Quinn first appeared in the Batman animated series episode Joker's Favor. That's right, she didn't first appear in the comic and then make her way into TV like most superheroes and supervillains do. It was actually the other way around. She was created by the fantastic writer Paul Dini for Batman the animated series and then became so popular on the cartoon series that she made her way into the comics, becoming part of DC's main comic continuity. If you're wondering what her first appearance in comic book form was, I got you covered. It was in Batman Adventures issue 12. For those of you who don't know, Dini isn't only responsible for the creation of Harley Quinn, he also wrote some of the best Batman stories of all time, like Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, and some of the best episodes from Batman the Animated Series, including the amazing retelling of Mr. Freeze's origin in the Heart of Ice episode. His resume also includes the first two Arkham games and tons of great Batman comics. As for Harley, Dini wanted to change things up and make one of the Joker's henchmen a girl, so he created Harley and modeled the character after his friend Arlene Sorkin, a former star of the soap opera series Days of Our Lives. Sorkin appeared in a dream sequence on the series in which she wore a jester costume. Dini used the scene as inspiration for Harley Quinn, and since he had been friends with Sorkin since college, he incorporated aspects of her personality into the character and had her voice the character for the series, and the rest was history. So that's how and why Harley Quinn was created, but as for her fictional origins, she had several over the years, like most, if not all, comic book characters. But while I'm going to mainly stick to her original origin since it's my favorite, and well, you just can't beat a classic, I'm also going to tell you her New 52 origin since that's what's current. Let's start with her original and most fan-loved origin, which we get from the Batman animated series episode and comic entitled Mad Love. The story starts off with Dr. Harleen Frances Quinzel working as an intern in an Arkham asylum. She discovers the Joker and quickly becomes fascinated with his insane motives. She voluntarily asks for a chance to analyze him. During one of their sessions, the Joker tells her about his tragic past and how his father abused him. She gained sympathy for him and quickly fell in love with him. She helped the Joker escape dressed up in her now iconic Harley Quinn costume and started her career as the Joker's sidekick and love interest. Later on, Harley finds out that everything the Joker had told her was a lie or a scam. He was deliberately telling her what she wanted to hear to endear himself to her, which becomes a reoccurring theme throughout the Joker and Harley Quinn's relationship. Knowing this, she continually tries to leave him, but like an abused spouse, she keeps forgiving him and runs back into his arms. Ever since the beginning of her relationship with the Joker, Harley has often been used and abused by the Joker, to the point where her life has been threatened on several different occasions. Yet she still remains faithful to Mr. J and stands by him when things go wrong. Quinn's relationship with the Joker is definitely one of the most complex and twisted love affairs in all of comics, which is why I love it so much and why it makes for such good storytelling. As he is with all people, Joker is abusive and manipulative towards Harley, but just as often there's evidence of playfulness and affection towards her, because even though the Joker is crazy, he's still a guy with a weakness for blonde hair and blue eyes. She's the only person who's managed to become intimate with the Joker on such a long-term basis, and while he generally accepts the relationship, we see the Joker's occasional moments of confusion and discomfort, which results in attempts to kill her. I think that's what makes their relationship so cool. The Joker is absolutely crazy, and Harley is crazy enough to love him despite how crazy he actually is. It's just a whole lot of crazy in one relationship. Another cool aspect of their relationship is that Harley's obsession with the Joker is much like the Joker's obsession with Batman. There is some differences, but there's also many similarities. Now, as I said earlier, that's Harley Quinn's most known and fan-loved origin, but now let's get into what's current and canon for her in the comic books, and that would be her DC New 52 origin, which changes her backstory a good amount and gives her a familiar yet brand new look. Ever since Harley was young, her family had not supported her journey toward earning her master's and then doctorate in criminal psychology, taunting her efforts to get out of the life they were stuck in. The chaos and insanity of that family life had pushed her toward order, study, and categorization. At the time, though, she hadn't realized that insanity is just a matter of perspective, but trust me, we'll get there. She had her pick of jobs out of school, choosing the most prestigious hospital in Gotham, but it wasn't enough for her. In the end, she transferred to a more exciting and challenging position at Arkham Asylum. As soon as she began, she felt it was her calling to be there. She felt she was the best doctor to ever grace the halls of Arkham Asylum, and knew she could be the one to get through to its inmates. Unfortunately, ultimately she realized she would never really get through to them unless she could surpass the doctor-patient barrier between them. So she put on a disguise and became a patient, giving up her addiction to order in the process. One day while in her disguise, she had approached the Joker. He had said nothing to her, but he turned and glared at her before planting a kiss on her lips. When her superiors discovered what she had done, they berated her for breaking every rule they had by using her dangerous method. This triggered a realization for her that order was restrictive. Before long, she and the Joker escaped together. Once they escaped, he threw her in a chemical bath similar to the one that changed his skin and appearance, which also bleached her skin white. So unlike the classic origin where her skin was painted white, in the New 52 her skin is now permanently white. She also now has red and blue hair instead of blonde hair. And as for her new costume, she got it by stealing articles of clothing off random college girls and a lady jogging in the park. And just like that, we have the New 52 origin of Harley Quinn. Another interesting note in the New 52 is that Harley had a falling out with the Joker, which makes her even more crazy. This really comes into play in Suicide Squad issue 7, where she puts the Joker's face on a tied up Deadshot and talks to him as if he's the Joker. And she asks him stuff like, "Why did you leave me?" which is really psychotic stuff. And in the Death of the Family storyline, she's in tears when she tells Batman that the Joker is not her Joker anymore. So as you can see, there was a pretty big falling out between them, and as a result, we don't see her at Joker's side much in the New 52. She's pretty much on her own or in a team format. Like her own self-titled comic and as a member of the Suicide Squad. She's even had a romantic fling with Suicide Squad member Deadshot, which we also see in Batman Assault on Arkham. So I'm curious to see if the two of them will have some sort of romantic relationship in their upcoming feature film. I also have to briefly mention Gotham City Sirens. It's a trio that consists of Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, and Catwoman. While the three are still considered criminals, they do engage in hero activity from time to time. I also can't talk about Harley Quinn without mentioning her best friend Poison Ivy. The two became best friends when Joker decided he doesn't like Harley's presence and shoots her off in a rocket. Harley crash lands at Robinson Park where she meets Poison Ivy. Ivy originally saved Harley but recognized that she was one of the doctors at Arkham. When Harley woke up, Ivy planned to kill her, but when she saw that Harley was so upset she did not care what Ivy was going to do, it made Ivy curious. Ivy convinced Harley to tell her what her problem was. After Harley did tell Ivy about everything, Ivy and Harley became best friends. Which brings us to powers and abilities. Harley has been known in the past to have a healing factor due to Ivy giving her a potion that enhanced her strength, speed, agility, gave her an immunity to toxins, and a small healing factor. She is also an impressive fighter, often using acrobatics that she was trained in as a young woman. She uses many odd and unique weapons and gadgets, such as her traditional mallet or a large pistol with a large cork in it. She is also a master of disguise and often employs elaborate disguises as part of her crimes. And lastly, as I do with all my history of episodes, it's time for some reading recommendations. You have Mad Love, Suicide Squad Volume 1 Kicked in the Teeth, Harley Quinn Volume 1 Hot in the City, Harley Quinn Night and Day, and Detective Comics 23.2. Lynda.com is an online learning company with more than 77,000 video tutorials that teach software, creative, and business skills. Memberships start at $25 per month and provides an unlimited 24/7 access to top quality video courses taught by expert instructors with real-world experience. Learn anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace, from bite-sized tutorials to comprehensive courses in web design, programming design, photography, business, audio and video, 3D, and animation. And you can learn on the go with their optimized mobile site or free iPhone and iPad app for members. Try Lynda.com for free for 7 days by visiting lynda.com/variants and get some knowledge into your brain. First up for Wednesday, January 7th, we have Ant-Man issue 1. If you want to learn more about Ant-Man before his new movie, I suggest you jump on his new title. Here we have Wolverine's issue 1. Wolverine may be dead, but what will happen to his mortal remains? Here we have Detective Comics issue 38. In this issue, the people of Gotham City have spoken and now anarchy runs wild in the streets. And finally, we have Green Lantern issue 38. After the relentless changes of Lights Out, Uprising, and Godhead, Hal Jordan heads to Earth for some much needed R&R. Well, that brings another episode of Variant to a close, but remember, you guys could always like our Variant Facebook page to keep up with the show and all things comic related. You can also follow me on Twitter if you so wish at twitter.com/Arris_Quinones, but I will be back next week when I talk about all things comics.
Hey Arris, the team I would like to be on is the Justice League.
Avengers or the Justice League? Trick question. X-Men.
Hey Arris, I would personally be on the Justice League.
Personally, I think I'd have to go with the Justice League because it has three of my favorite superheroes on the team, Flash, Shazam, and Arrow.
Justice League. What team are you on?
Titan!
Team Titan, sweet.
Justice League because more powerful heroes, and I'd be on the team with Batman.
I would rather want to be on a Justice League team.
Hey Arris, if I had to choose between the Avengers and the Justice League, I would choose the Justice League because I like the whole dynamic and how the team works. Plus, working alongside with Batman would be pretty awesome.
If I could be on a superhero team, I think I'd be in the Avengers rather than the Justice League. Mainly because the Avengers have a Hulk. What problems would you possibly have that the Hulk could completely smash you out of. But then again, I have no superpowers whatsoever, so I'd be of no use to anyone.